What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball fan manga breakdown review, where today we're going to be reviewing a fan manga entitled Dragon Ball AF, which is a fan-made manga set within its own timeline outside of the main canon of Akira Toriyama and Toei Animation. As for many years now, I've been reviewing and introducing all kinds of Dragon Ball fan mangas to the world created by the community for the community, so if you guys are interested in seeing and reading up on incredible stories and concepts such as Dragon Ball AF, Dragon Ball Legendary, Dragon Ball New Age, Dragon Ball X, and many others, then feel free to check out the Dragon Ball fan manga playlist in the description box for more videos such as this, as right now we are going to be diving into a brand new manga chapter. As before we begin, if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be the first to know when a new video is posted onto this channel. And if you guys have not already done so, be sure to go on ahead and check out Dragon Ball AF manga chapter number 3 and Dragon Ball AF manga chapter numbers 1 and 2 on my channel for more information behind the story, as we kick off Young Gigi's Dragon Ball AF manga chapter number 4 on the lookout as Dende is beginning to speak to Mr. Popo and saying, "Incredible, this is Son Gohan. The whole earth is shaking because of his ki," in which prior to Dragon Ball AF manga chapter number 3, we saw the death of Pan right before Gohan's very eyes, and triggering Gohan in unlocking a new form, that being Super Saiyan 5 for the very first time. As Mr. Popo responds by saying when Gohan loses something important, he totally loses his reason. "I can feel an incredible will to kill in his ki," as Dende replies to Popo in saying with this he could beat Aiza's perfect form, but we can't use Earth's Dragon Balls now, so it means we can't bring Pan back to life. As Dende looks behind him and asking Goku, "What should we do?" As over back on the battlefield, we see how Gohan is staring down Aiz, as Aiz begins to look at Gohan and saying, "You bastard," and Gohan, having to witness the death of his daughter, is not intending on taking any slack from Aiz, especially as Vegeta goes on to watch the fight and saying, "Incredible, he was still hiding that much power?" As Vegeta himself cannot believe that Gohan at this very point has become the strongest warrior on Earth, as then we finally get to see the engagement of Gohan and Aiz as Gohan begins to take charge. Now the initial battle itself is so brutal because we see Gohan demonstrating raw power against Aiz. Now Aiz is said to be one of the most powerful villains that the Z Fighters have come across since Omega Shenron. When you take a closer look at this battle, Gohan seems to be taking that level of threat and handling it with complete ease, as we see Aiz drop down to one of his knees and holding onto his face and saying, "Ah, bastard," and Vegeta seems to be amazed because now it looks like Aiz is really taking physical damage enough to the point where he knows and even kneels down on the ground holding onto his face. As Gohan walks over him looking down at him, the anger that is seemingly consuming Gohan's heart in the passing of his daughter begins to manifest as Gohan once again goes on the attack, and it's a very ruthless Gohan in seeing how he's kicking Aiz in the stomach, punching him through mountains, beating him into the floor. Gohan is not holding anything back in this situation because this was the first time in a very long time that Gohan was backed into a corner with absolutely nothing to gain but everything to lose, and the one thing that was most valuable to him he had lost, which was his daughter, and which as an end result allowed him to tap into a power that no other fighter including Goku and Vegeta were able to tap into before, making Gohan the first of his kind in unleashing Super Saiyan 5. And because of this terrifying transformation, we see how Gohan begins to power up even more and more and more, and because of his immense rage, we see how the power that Gohan is emitting from his body is beginning to shake cities all throughout the world. We get to see how pedestrians are assuming that an earthquake is happening when in fact it's not. Even Kibito Kai is feeling the after effects over at the Supreme Kai homeworld and saying, "Reverend Ancestor, what the heck is Gohan's transformation?" As the Elder Kai looks down and saying, "It looks like Gohan's anger released his hidden power. This shape is what we call Super Saiyan 5. And Kibito Kai is completely taken back and saying, "Super Saiyan 5? As one of the other assisting members there goes on to state, "So this is Super Saiyan 5. So that means he's stronger, correct?" As the Elder Kai goes on to state, when Gohan forcefully became a Super Saiyan 4, his potential started to be released. In fact, it looks like it was fully awakened by Pan's death. As Kibito Kai goes on to state with this, Earth will be okay, right, Reverend Ancestor? As the Elder Kai goes on to state for now, but it looks like the danger is not out of the way yet. As we go back to Earth, we see Eyes emerge from the rubble, and he seems to be absolutely furious at the sole idea that he came to Earth for a challenge to begin with, and now that he's getting one, it looks like he's really not enjoying what he's experiencing, especially now that Gohan has even now surpassed his perfect form. As Eyes goes on to state, it's impossible for such a guy to exist. All of my strength, it's useless against him. I can't forgive that. I definitely can't forgive that. As Gohan looks up and we see how Eyes cries out and saying, I will settle this now with my full power. As both Vegeta and Gotenks look on, we see how Eyes begins to raise his power. And this is very critical because at this given point, Eyes is making the insinuation that everything including Gohan and Vegeta and his friends are going to be destroyed. And this is the first time that Eyes ever had to use his full power before, which makes things all that much more interesting. And we see how Eyes begins to gather up his energy together. He puts his hands together as he sticks his arm out, and Gohan at this point goes on to state, I'll never forgive a monster like you. Pan, you killed her like a mere worm. You're nothing but trash. And in Gohan's eyes, we see the tears, we see the anger, we see the sorrow, and there is absolutely no remorse for both Eyes and Gohan. As Eyes sticks his hand down, he aims at Gohan and finally cries out, disappear, and unleashes a massive blast that both Vegeta and Gotenks recognize, and they begin to flee. As Vegeta is about to leave, he looks on over as Gohan charges up for the Kamehameha and uttering Kamehameha as he finally unleashes a devastating Super Saiyan 5 Kamehameha, which not only looks glorious in the way Gohan is using the Kamehameha, but Gohan's Kamehameha is similar to that when he fought against Cell in not only overtaking Eyes' attack, but also we get to see Vegeta get blown back, Gotenks gets blown back, and Eyes is standing there in the sky uttering what? As finally, at long last, Eyes is bearing witness to his final moments as the Super Saiyan 5 Kamehameha begins to overtake him, destroying him completely. And I have to admit, the way this was shot and the way everything looked, every moment at the very end of this felt gigantic. It felt so important. We get to see pieces of Eyes begin to tear off from his body as he cries out, this is impossible, as he fades into the blinding white light as Gohan's Super Saiyan 5 Kamehameha sends Eyes hurtling through space. And it's such a grand moment in seeing what happens next as Gohan dies down from Super Saiyan 5 back down to his original base form. He later falls down to his knees and begins to cry. He begins to cry because he knows at this point his daughter is no longer with him. His daughter had no purpose in this battle, and after having to request in telling Eyes to leave her out of this, he did not fulfill that request, but instead killed her right before Gohan's eyes. Vegeta is watching, Gotenks is watching, and we see Gohan sobbing. He's crying, tears of emotion falling down and hitting the ground. As we pan into Hell, we see Piccolo standing there with Frieza as Frieza cries out, "You must be kidding! We lost to a Saiyan again?" As Piccolo utters out, "Gohan, you did well. However, for things to end up like that, shit, my lack of power makes me..." As Gohan cries, Piccolo begins to reminisce on his own strength and feeling helpless to even help the guy. As we see Trunks holding on to Pan and saying, "Gohan, for the time being, let's get our wounds healed at Kame's place, please. Goten, take Oob with you." As everyone begins to leave, we see how King Kai goes on to state, "It seems over for now. However, the situation could become troublesome again soon." As we go back to the lookout, we see how Dende begins to heal people, beginning with Oob. As Oob begins to sit back up, Trunks asks, "Are you okay?" As Oob goes on to state, "Everyone, I'm fine, but where's Eyes?" As Oob looks on over, he sees a very distressed Gohan, and saying, "That guy, Gohan defeated him? Gohan made it? How in the world did he beat such a strong guy?" And that's when Trunks comes in and saying, in fact, as the story progresses, Oob goes on to state, "I see. Pan is..." And then Gohan cries out, "Dende, are you sure we really can't use the Dragon Balls?" As Dende goes on to state, "The Dragon Balls, well, I mean, there is a way. However, right now, the Dragon Balls are..." As a familiar voice cries out, "Hey, Gohan!" As Gohan says, "This voice, is that the old Kaioshin?" As the Elder Kai replies by saying, "Yes, I know everything about the current situation. I understand your feelings very well too, but for now, I have something to tell you about the Dragon Balls. I'll start with the conclusion. You can't use the Dragon Balls right now. As Gohan says, wait, but you said now. I mean, does this mean that we will be able to use them at some point? As the Elder Kai replies by saying, don't be so hasty. I'll explain in order now. So to start with the beginning, this story started 3 years ago. When you guys fought against Omega Shenron, Goku died. And that's when Gohan and Vegeta are like, what? Wait, so he's really dead? While Goku's final words while on the ground is the energy. I need everyone's energy. I'm not dead yet, as we see Shenron arrive and stating, I will lend you some of my strength, but there is a condition for this, Son Goku, as Goku says, a condition, as Shenron replies by saying, the current situation, it's the reality that you guys have created. That's why it must be solved by your hands. In short, it means that you will have to take responsibility in place of Earth. As Goku states, me? If that's the case, I'll do whatever I can, as Shenron replies by stating understood. Well then, you'll have to give me your body if that's okay with you, as Goku smiles and stating understood. Please do so. In the final moments against Omega Shenron, we see how Goku begins to raise the Spirit Bomb off the ground, and that was the initial moment when Goku had defeated Omega Shenron, as Goku cries out, haha, I'm not dead yet, not until I beat you. This, using Shenron's strength, Goku successfully defeated Omega Shenron, and that's what it looked like. But after using Shenron's strength, Goku had to take responsibility with his own body. The negative energy sealed back inside the Dragon Balls was used by Goku's positive energy. In short, in order to prevent the negative energy to be released again, Goku is now fighting alone. As Gohan cries out, this is so... My dad gave away his own body for our sake? As the Elder Kai replies by saying, yes, if we restore the Dragon Balls now, an evil dragon way stronger than Omega Shenron will be released. That is the bargain. As everyone at this point is utterly shocked as the Elder Kai continues in saying, but for now, you guys don't have the strength to beat that evil dragon, so just remain intact. As a Super Saiyan 5, Gohan could probably beat anyone now, but I'm afraid that he can't turn Super Saiyan 5 anymore. And Trunks is like, but, I mean, couldn't Son Gohan beat him? I mean, why? How? As the Elder Kai goes on to state that time, it was a miracle that Gohan had turned into a Super Saiyan 5. Because it was the first time that Goku was in this state, he was able to turn Super Saiyan 5. Now that Aiz is dead, Gohan can't remember that state of tension anymore. As Trunks is like, wait, but how? I don't understand. As the Elder Kai goes on to state, however, I do have a little idea. Gohan, Vegeta, I will train you both, and then you will both be able to turn into Super Saiyan 5. Trunks is like, what? You can do that, Kaioshin? As the Kaioshin replies by saying, I'm not entirely sure, but I'll help you in whatever way I can. As Vegeta goes on to state, if this training is a success, we will break the seal of the Dragon Balls. As Dende replies by saying, I just thought about it, but I mean, we couldn't use the Namek Dragon Balls to revive Pan? As the Elder Kai replies by saying, impossible. Namek's Porunga is much more powerful than the Earth's dragon. This means that the negative energy is also much stronger, and there is no doubt that if we use them again, an evil dragon will be released. The truth is, I'm reluctant to restoring the Earth's Dragon Balls. However, with the situation being what it is, it's not like I can stop you from doing it. Moreover, I don't want to put such a burden on Goku's shoulders. And this is a trial for all of the Earthlings. This time, you'll have to surpass your own limits, as Gohan cries, yes. And then we see Vegeta thinking to himself and saying, Kakarot, I really don't like it when you fix everything yourself. Hey, Elder, hurry up and start training us. As Gohan cries out, Vegeta, is it okay if I make a report of the situation to everyone? As Vegeta says, just let Trunks and the others spread the word. As Kibito Kai cries out and saying, well, about having Vegeta train alone at first, and Vegeta's like, do as you please, whatever, just let's begin training first. As we see Kibito-shin, he comes on over, he picks up Vegeta as everyone begins to fly off, but Gohan is the one that's hurting the most. Because despite this overwhelming threat of a new dragon having to appear, Gohan still is harboring the loss of his daughter. And we see how the following day, Gohan explains the situation to Videl, and we see how Videl begins to cry. Everyone, including Gohan, Trunks, Goten, Videl, are feeling the after effects of what had happened. But then we get get to see how the narration goes on to state, and thus Gohan and the others began their training in order to restore the Dragon Balls. As Gohan cries out, "Pan, just wait a little longer, Papa will definitely bring you back to life." As the narration goes on to state, in the other world, what kind of training is the Kaioshin going to make them face? As we see the faces of Gohan and Vegeta as they prepare to train, as we see the narration close off the chapter and stating, and then, Goku, will Pan really be able to be brought back to life? As part 1 of Dragon Ball AF manga chapter number 4 comes to a close. And this was a very overwhelming chapter in the fact that I really did not like how Aiz was easily defeated, but I really did enjoy the gravity of the situation, knowing the fact that if they were to use the Dragon Balls, more dragons will appear. But also, Gohan seemingly enough can't tap into Super Saiyan 5, which I personally enjoy given its status, but I'm really curious to see the type of training that Vegeta and Gohan are going to undergo under the Elder Kai, but also knowing the fact that now Gohan is fighting for his daughter's life. He's fighting for her very existence. The only reason why Gohan is training, the only reason why Gohan is being relevant enough in keeping up with his training and making sure that he stays at tip-top shape is because he wants to bring his daughter back to life. And it's something that I really feel like Dragon Ball Super should have encompassed in allowing Gohan to feel as relevant as he did in this fan manga. But also, if you guys go back and reading my previous manga chapter reviews, you guys get to see firsthand the devastation and the destruction that Aiz was creating, not just for Gohan, but to Vegeta, Oob, Gotenks, and basically all of Earth. So I really did enjoy this manga chapter, not as much as manga chapter number 3, but what I did enjoy was seeing Gohan's reaction, seeing how the Elder Kai and Kibito Kai were able to feel out Gohan's hatred for Aiz, the will to kill, the anger that had manifested onto the surface. We saw how ruthless Gohan was, and that was such a pivotal moment because he had lost his daughter and he had nothing else to gain, and the fact that the only thing he had to gain was redemption in killing Aiz for killing his daughter, and that was a really important thing for me. This manga chapter was really good, but in my own subjective opinion, I do feel as if manga chapter number 3 was better. But what did you guys think about this particular manga chapter? What are your overall thoughts on the Elder Kai having to train Vegeta and Gohan? What are your thoughts on what's to come in the future? Who else do you guys believe is going to obtain Super Saiyan 5? I would like to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all so very much for watching. Once more, if you guys have missed out manga chapters 1, 2, and 3, make sure you guys go ahead and check those videos out on my channel. I will leave direct links down below. If of course you guys love anime and Dragon Ball, don't forget to go ahead and punch that subscribe button, enable all notifications to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel. Tune back in for more if you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next Dragon Ball AF fan manga. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.
This is the perfect being. Before I destroy your favorite heroes, I'm going to need you to subscribe to the perfect channel UnrealEntGaming and turn on notifications to never miss a single upload. Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead. Along with your entire planet.